Hi guys, my name is Nairi and you will find me on the Adoption Family Life channel where I talk about everything around adoption. There's some fostering stuff on there as well. I'm also the mum of 5 birth children, so I have a wide range of experience. And today we're going to talk about what they don't tell you before you go into fostering and adopting, and I'm going to tell you what you need to know. If you think my channel around adoption or trauma and behaviours with children is useful to you, then please hit the pink subscribe button below. So what don't they tell you? Well, because I've had 5 of my own children, the reason why I mentioned that is because I can see the difference between having my own children and fostering and adoption, and the types of behaviours that you might need to deal with when you're fostering an adoption. So what they don't tell you, honestly guys, is it's really difficult. It's so difficult to look after children that have experienced trauma. On the other side, it's probably the most satisfying thing that I've ever done. So if you want to take those two extremes, it's probably one of the most difficult things I've ever done, and it's the most satisfying thing I've ever done. So you know what they say, no risk, no reward. And so it depends what type of person you are. But if you're going to go into fostering or adoption, you've got to be really resilient. And if you are part of a couple or part of a family unit, that resilience needs to go into partner as well. By the way, if you're a single adopter, that's brilliant as well, because it's not about whether you've got a strong partner, it's about whether you've got a strong network that's going to make you stand or fall. There are many foster carers that go into fostering who don't last for very long, and that's because they're pretty shocked at what happens and what comes to them. They've not experienced children that have been abused before and are experienced trauma, and it is a shock. Most of us think when we go into it that we're going to love these children and we're going to give them a nice home and a nice family and everything's going to be hunky-dory. And honestly guys, that's not the reality. The reality is it's a lot of hard work. It's systematic. It's got to be thorough, and you've got to be on your toes, and you've got to be really strong mentally, probably really strong physically, although I don't think I fall into that category. But you've got to be a strong character to do this, because all sorts of things are going to be thrown at you that you don't expect, and every day is going to be different. So what they don't tell you is the chances are you're going to hear disclosures which are going to horrify you, because so many children have gone through a huge amount of abuse at a level that, if you've not heard a disclosure before, is something that is just going to shock you to start with. And it takes a while to adjust to a whole new world of this is the way that children actually could be treated. If you've had a more sheltered upbringing particularly, then it is going to be more of a shock. But if you read as many books as you can about fostering and adoption, and maybe expose yourself to read true stories about abuse and things like that, and kind of get the shock out of the way to begin with, then that is going to be a good thing. If you want to be a foster carer, it's brilliant, do it. If you want to be a doctor, fantastic. Well, I'm not going to say even better, but amazing. But you have to be resilient as a person, and you have to have a resilient network around you, and be prepared to be shocked at what you hear, and to be very sad at what our society puts children through, because that's the reality of it. So you need people that you can offload onto. Guys, I hope that's not too negative for you, because I loved fostering, and if we didn't adopt the boys, I would still be fostering, and I would have a house full of them. I think it's just, I can't tell you what it does to your heart. It is fantastic. So I'm not trying to be negative, I'm just trying to be a realist. Hope it helps you guys. If it does, then please hit the pink subscribe button below, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Goodbye now.